The University of Minnesota is the site tonight for Big Ten men's gymnastics on BTN as the 6th-ranked Minnesota Golden Gophers welcome in the 12th-ranked Iowa Hawkeyes. Minnesota is looking for their 6th consecutive victory, while the Hawkeyes are looking for their first Big Ten win of the season. Hello, everyone. I am Mike Wolf, and we are a little over 4 weeks away from the Big Ten championships in Iowa City, and both of these teams, Rob Brown, are hoping to execute at a more consistent level as they get ready for that postseason.
You're absolutely right, Mike. It is time to get it together. 4 weeks away from championships, as you mentioned. These guys have got to start to prove they're ready to hit routines.
And this is a tri-meet with SUNY Brockport involved as well, but we'll focus on Minnesota and Iowa. And for the Iowa Hawkeyes, Anton Grashaev set the school record on the still rings with a 15.25 a week ago.
Leadership's going to be a key component for both of these teams to get it together. Anton, as you mentioned, top scorer on rings, actually competes on several events for Iowa. Look for him to have a great competition and lead Iowa.
And for the Golden Gophers, Russell Dabritz is 3rd in the nation on the parallel bars and 11th on the still rings, a couple of key events for him.
And Russell, also a multiple event competitor for Minnesota. Again, leads the team on all those events. He has got to have a good meet for Minnesota to keep it together.
Oh, the first rotation is coming up on the Big Ten Network as the floor exercise will start things out for the Iowa Hawkeyes, and Minnesota will start it off on the horse. More from Minneapolis in a moment.
405769.
Welcome back to the Sports Pavilion on the campus of the University of Minnesota, where we're almost set to get underway in this tri-meet. The head coach for the Golden Gophers, Mike Burns, in his 8th season, he took Minnesota to the NCAA team finals in 2007. A look at the lineup on the floor exercise. Yoshi Morinishi, also known as Yoshi, Rob, is a guy to look out for.
Justin's got the highest start value for Minnesota on this event. He's got to post a good score to keep Minnesota going tonight.
And for the Iowa Hawkeyes, they're led by J.D. Reeve in his 2nd season. Of course, he's been an assistant with Stanford and was named the National Assistant of the Year in 2009. A look at the lineup for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Of course, we'll be keeping our eye on Adam Wilson, the senior on the pommel horse.
Adam's been one of the most consistent guys for Iowa on pommel horse. So again, we need him to finish this event strong for Iowa.
First up on the floor exercise, Zack Chase for the Minnesota Golden Gophers, a sophomore out of Woodinville, Washington. Of course, he won this event against Iowa in the tri-meet earlier this season, so a good event for him to start things out for the Gophers, Rob.
And a great start right there. Beautiful landing. It's kind of critical. You want to hit, obviously, all of your routines, but that first guy up really sets the pace. Ooh, looked like it was going to be short, but he pulled it out. Another nice pass. Round off double full, another key landing. This particular event, since there's so many tumbling passes, landings are critical. So we're going to watch these landings. Every time they take a step, it's a 10th. They add up very quickly.
70 seconds to complete their floor exercise routine. Of course, they've done it so many times, they don't even have to count down. They know how long their routine will go.
And that's a relatively new rule. What happened is, because of the new scoring rules, the more difficult skills you do, the higher your score. So what they were doing is adding floor passes. The routines were taking 2-3 minutes. So they added this time component. You guys got to get your stuff in and wrap it up.
And we'll bring you every rotation for both Minnesota and Iowa, but other teams competing as well tonight. If you're wondering what's going on in the background, Zack Chase completes, though, for the Gophers. Gets off with a first hit for Minnesota.
Yep, that was a great start for Minnesota. His biggest break was the landing on that last pass. Round off, back 1.5 twist, punch full twist, punch Rudy. Great combination right there. Great start for Minnesota.
Iowa Hawkeyes will get things started with Mitchell Landau, the freshman from Iowa City, a local kid who worked with assistant coach Brad Verkler during his days as an Iowa gymnast in the club days, so he knows Iowa and the program very well.
And we talk about hitting that first set. This event, more than any other, is critical to set a good pace. Right there, we're watching him work across the horse. Those are called Magyar travels. And a Magyar travel going backwards. Right there, that's called a tongue fei, when he went from one end to the other without the pommels. Very nice skill. We're watching a couple form breaks, and you'll kind of notice the difference. He's a little, his body position, oh, big break right there. Really working well, and then unfortunately in this event, when something goes wrong, it goes wrong really fast.
And which is a big surprise, though. He's been very consistent as a freshman for head coach J.D. Reeve so far this season.
But I was saying, too, he looks a little tight. You can see his body's piked. Usually you're going to see bigger extension and more speed. Right here, you see the form breakdown and then the big break. There is no stopping on pommel horse.
So the Hawkeyes don't get the start that they were looking for on the pommel horse, but a couple other solid routines coming up for them if they can hit them. We'll head back to the floor exercise, this time with Adam LaFleur, the captain, a former walk-on for this Minnesota team, who is now a captain out of New Brighton, Minnesota. And a season-high 14.3 earlier this season on the floor exercise for Adam LaFleur.
When we talk about landings, that was a great landing right there on his first pass, an Arabian double front in the pike position. Awesome second pass again. Nice landing. And I've watched Adam now the last couple years. He's really come a long way. It's great to see. He looks confident. Nice wide hand, press handstand.
And an update for you from earlier, Zack Chase came up with a 14.4 on that first routine for Minnesota on the floor exercise.
There's another Arabian double front, and there's the landings we were talking about. Beautiful, almost showed it off a little bit. This is it. If he can finish strong here, it's going to score well. 2.5. Again, there's that step. Really the biggest break in that routine. Overall, very clean.
How much of a deduction will that step be, Rob?
That's about a 3/10 deduction. So in the old days, it was 1/10, 2/10, 3/10. Now it's 1, 3, 5. So if it's a small step, and there it is. Oh, that was the second pass. I'm sorry, that was very clean. That would have been a 1/10 hop we saw there.
So the senior continuing to build on that first routine for the Gophers, and back to the horse, Javier Balboa, usually an all-arounder, but he's dealing with a bit of a stress problem in his lower back, so he's not going all around tonight. This is only event, Rob, and we'll look to see him hit here because you know the Hawkeyes want their star to do well, even though he's not competing all around.
You're absolutely right, and I know earlier you commented about how, geez, he's got a bad back and he can do this event? No, this is amazing, because look at the body, how much it's moving. Right now he looks good, he doesn't look hurt. Nice, beautiful Russian Moors on the end. Look at the speed, remember I mentioned the speed? Look how fast he's working, the body's extended, that's why he's working so well. There's that tongue fei, beautiful. And again, there's no stops on pommel horse. He's keeping it moving. And up on the dismount pirouette. That's what Iowa needed right there. Beautiful set.
A great comeback for Iowa because they needed it after Mitchell Landau did not come up with a great start. We'll look at the hands here, though, on the replay.
And right here, this is that Russian Moor I mentioned. Beautiful handwork. Right here is traveling across the horse without the pommels. That's difficult. That ups his score.
So Javier Balboa happy with that. Not competing all around, as we said. He's 9th in the nation in that category. But Balboa's night is done after a solid performance on the pommel horse. And now Sean Bauer for Minnesota up on the floor exercise. The freshman out of St. Louis, Missouri. This is just his second meet of the season. How difficult is it, Rob, to come into the middle of the year and then try to put together a routine that could be a big score for Minnesota?
You know, it all depends. I think if you had been training these skills prior and you're coming off an injury, you should get into it pretty quickly. If these are newer skills and you've been out of shape or hurt, it's going to be a little more difficult. Right now, he looks pretty good.
Came up with a 14.4 last week against UIC for Minnesota in his first action of the season on this event.
There's that Arabian double front. Again, he's got very good acceleration, height, but he's having troubles on the landing. I'm seeing some big steps. And that might be the fine-tuning you're talking about. How hard is it to come back? It's the little things that are a little rusty. Got to get it back together. 2.5 twist. Very nice finish. Not bad for being out of it for quite a while.
He's pleased with himself after that routine for the Gophers. That's the third different Gopher on the floor exercise. Of course, a maximum of 6 competitors per event.
2.5 twist right there. Difficult landing because you're forward. You don't see the landing. Great finish.
Back over the pommel horse. We talked about Anton Grushayev in the open, and now Iowa looking to him after Javier Balboa came up with a 14.7. Now Anton Grushayev, of course, up there on the horse at a season high of 14.2 on this event earlier this season. Correction, Javier Balboa had a 14.1 on this event.
And right now, Anton looks good. Whenever you see a guy, we call it camping out on one pommel. That's very difficult. It's getting bonus points. A little trouble right there, and he can't save it. And not unusual to see kind of what looks like a dramatic wipeout on horse. You're only on your hands when they slip. You know, you're like a helicopter coming off of there.
And now he'll have 30 seconds to regroup. How difficult is it to get back up on the horse after you've had that break, Rob?
You know, I wouldn't call it difficult. Really what it is keeping your mind in the right place, not getting all upset. You got to regroup and get every 10th. And right here, you can see the legs breaking. That usually tells you you're in trouble. And then the hands slip. You hit the pommel horse, you're done.
Grashaev, the junior out of Littleton, Colorado, will get things started again on the horse, picking up where he left off after that fall.
Right there's the Magyar Travels going backwards across the horse. Nice finish into the handstand. Way to finish. So nice that he got up there, was clean, got every 10th.
So not exactly Anton's event, as the rings really is where he shines, but he's able to recover, possibly put together a score that could count for Iowa. Over to the floor exercise again with DJ Rep now for the Golden Gophers. Rep did not compete last week, was given a rest by head coach Mike Burns, and now he's getting a chance to get back out there.
Nice landing on that Arabian double front, pike position. And that's called a full twisting Arabian 1 and 3. So you're going to see guys do front tumbling, back tumbling. Again, another 1 and 3, rolling out of the skills. And even though they're not landing on their feet, Mike, when you're rolling out, those rolls need to be smooth. So if you're bouncing, the judges can still hit you for a deduction.
Couple of updates on this event for Minnesota, a 14.9 for Adam LaFleur and a 14.9 for Sean Bauer. So two big hits for Minnesota. So far, they've been hitting every routine, Rob.
Those are nice scores. And right now, DJ looks very strong.
Rep competed in the Winter Cup a few weeks back, representing Minnesota.
Let's see if he can finish here strong. Nice double twist. He's pumped. Nice set, great landings. That's going to be another good score for Minnesota.
Minnesota hitting every routine to start. Mike Burns has to be happy.
Watch this. Front, double twist, pulls it out. Again, that forward-facing landing, tough to see. Great finish.
DJ Rep, the senior from Albuquerque, New Mexico, with another hit for Minnesota. Now Brody Szymanski up on the horse, trying to get a score that will count, Rob. A 12.8 for Anton Grashaev just a moment ago. They need a couple of hits here.
6 guys up, 4 scores count. So once you've got 2 misses, 4 guys have got to get it together. And right now looks good, good extension, good speed. Using all parts of the horse, that is a requirement on this apparatus. There's those Russian Moors. And again, scissors are a required part of the pommel horse routine. Now let's see if he can finish strong here. This is where you run out of gas. Those are Russian Moors. He's got to get this up through 45 degrees. Oh, a little low, but a nice set. Iowa's going to take that one.
Szymanski able to hit for Iowa, the junior out of California. Of course, he came off a season high last week against Oklahoma. We'll see if he improved on that number. Tough dismount.
Very nice finish. Again, that the legs need to go up through 45 degrees, but still a great set.
Back over to the floor exercise with Justin Morinishi, or Yoshi Morinishi, for the Golden Gophers. And an update, DJ Rep, you saw him amped up after his routine, a 15.2 for the Gophers.
That is some big scores for the Gophers.
New season high for Rep. We'll see what Morinishi can do.
There's that Arabian 1-3 again, and that was in the layout position. Very smooth roll out of it. 2.5 twist punch Branny. Again, all the Gophers look very confident. Their landings are strong. Ooh, thought he was going to step out, but he saved it.
You know, Mike Burns talked to us about this being a more difficult week of training for Minnesota, and he thought they might be a little bit tired. They look to be in top form so far, Rob.
Yeah, right now they look good. You're right, Mike. I actually talked to both coaches. They said, listen, we're going to push these guys hard the next 2 weeks and then taper off 2 weeks before the championship meet. And they thought, well, we'll see how these guys look. Right now, they look pretty strong.
Is that a pretty typical routine from the majority of these teams in terms of building for that championship meet?
Absolutely, and I don't think this is any different than any other sport. There's, you know, phases through the season that you're going to push hard and then taper off. And again, really, we're seeing small deductions that are really the only breaks in these Minnesota routines.
At this point, Minnesota might be able to take these 4 and hit the road. They've already had 4 great routines to start. They'll have their other 2 competitors go.
And right there, yep, that was the biggest break, that big hopping step, and he almost went out of bounds. But really, when those are your biggest breaks, you're doing good.
Back over to the horse and Zack Chase for Iowa, the senior out of Brentwood, Missouri. Of course, he's hit a 13.8 twice this season, but that's not a number that Iowa can take here. They need a bigger number right now.
You're absolutely right, Mike. And again, this is the most difficult event for men's gymnastics. And when your start values are low to begin with and then you're having troubles, it's just not going to get it done. So he's got to be very clean here.
Szymanski came up with a 13.8 a minute ago.
Nice save, Mike. I don't know if you could tell he was way off balance. Saved it. Love to see that. Looks good. You saw multiple skills in one pommel. That's going to get him some extra bonus points. Magyar travel across the horse. Coming back. Looks great. Breaking to the scissor requirements. Full twisting scissor. Oh, a little stop. Not a major break. Come on, pick it up here. And right there, when he touches the horse, it's a major deduction and just ran out of gas. That might have been the situation we were talking about where the coaches have been pushing him and he just ran out of gas.
Look again at the end of the routine for Chazabon.
And Zack really looked good up until that point. You can even hear, this is a basic skill in gymnastics, a press handstand, and he just has nothing left in the tank.
How difficult is it to start off the meet on the pommel horse knowing that you have so many other events coming up and it's the most difficult routine you're going to do the entire night?
You know, as much as you'd like to say, hey, I've been doing this a long time. Yeah, I know it's the hardest event. I should be over it. It's a tough psychological thing. It's just a tough event.
Back over to the Gophers and Adam Kern, the sophomore out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. The Gophers don't necessarily need another score here. They've got their 4, a 14.7 for Morinishi a moment ago, but they'll hope to get another big one possibly here from Kern.
That is a great feeling for a coach, Mike, going into your last guy going, hey, we got 4 great scores already. And right now, Adam looking like his teammates, very smooth, confident. He really shows off his skills. He drops out of the sky. Little trouble there. That was his first break in this set. Nice again, showing off that landing.
Kern has a season high of 14.7 on this event so far this year.
Punch double front, that's really cool. Kind of unique. It's, again, back in the day, since I'm, you know, a dinosaur, you wouldn't see a running skill like that. You always had a handspring in front of it or a round-off flip-flop. So really kind of fun to see. Arabian double front. Oh, another great landing. The Gophers are on tonight. Wow, 6 beautiful routines for Minnesota.
This may be one of those routines or rotations they want to save for the Big Ten championships.
You are absolutely correct. But, again, this is the kind of confidence you need to prove that we can do it.
Great elevation by Kern. Is he the 5th different Gopher to go on the floor exercise? And we'll head back over to the pommel horse with Iowa and Adam Wilson. As Wilson will close things out on the horse for the Hawkeyes. We mentioned him earlier, Rob, and of course he's the senior out of Racine, Wisconsin. He needs this hit now for Iowa.
Absolutely, Iowa's been struggling here, and this will be a nice way to finish going into their next rotation. He looks great, nice speed, good extension. Right there, 2, 3 skills on one pommel. That's gonna get him some difficulty bonus. Magyar travel using every part of the horse, pommels, leather. Right there, that tongue fei. Keep it moving, good job. There's his scissors. Come on now, he needs to pick up the speed here, Mike. See if he can finish strong. There's those Russian Moors. Let's see if he gets those legs up on the dismount. Oh my gosh, he slipped, he fought through. I love it. Great finish, couple breaks, but a great finish for Iowa.
Fight for Adam Wilson as he hopes to improve on his score on the horse. One more look at it.
Look at him fight, look at him fight. The leg, the elbow, boom, get off, yes. I love it.
Wrapping up rotation number 1, that actually was the end for Minnesota. And of course, Adam Kern came up with a 15.1 to finish things off for the Gophers. A tremendous start for Minnesota. Iowa looking to rebound when we come back to the Sports Pavilion in Minneapolis. BTN goes where you want, when you want it, with BTN To Go, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. BTN To Go is available at no extra charge to subscribers who receive BTN through their cable, satellite, or participating video providers. You can get it on iTunes. We'll look at the results from the first rotation, and what a performance by the Golden Gophers on the floor exercise, finishing with a 60.1, Rob.
Really a great way for the Gophers to start. They dominated. All 6 routines were ahead. Beautiful team score.
Always difficult to start things off on the pommel horse, and it was a struggle for the Hawkeyes, but Javier Balboa, who's fighting with that back pain, was still able to put up a 14.1.
Great leadership by Javier, scoring that 14-1. Again, I know the new scoring system's difficult, but whenever you see 12s, it's not good.
We'll take a look at the team standings after the first rotation, and Minnesota on top with almost a 6-point lead so far after the first rotation. Starting things out on the pommel horse for the Golden Gophers, Russell Dabritz. We talked about him in the open, Rob. He's got to be a guy to start things off well for Minnesota on this event and continue to carry the momentum from that performance on the floor exercise. A 60.1, as we talked about, to start things out for Minnesota on the floor.
Mike, that is a fantastic start for Minnesota on floor. And again, Russell's got to be the leader here. Start Minnesota off on the pommel horse, keep the momentum going. Right now, I love the body lines, good form. Very clean. And I think some of the nicest scissor work we've seen, nice amplitude on his legs, and a strong finish right there. Explodes into the handstand. We saw Iowa with some trouble on the dismounts. Explodes it right up there. Great start for the Gophers.
This not his event, but he came up and had a very good start for the Gophers.
And again, critical for momentum that he hits, and he really did a nice job. Clean. Again, not the greatest start value, but again, it's going to score well.
He's one of the best in the nation on the parallel bars and the still rings, as we'll see him later on tonight. But a good start on the pommel horse for Minnesota. Over to the still rings with Brody Szymanski for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Of course, Szymanski competing all around for Iowa. We saw him earlier start things off on the horse. Broke a little bit there. We'll see if he can recover on the still rings.
Mounts to the backup rise, straddle plunge. Whip it cross. And all these strength parts and a beautiful front lever pop cross. All the strength skills tonight, Mike. You're going to want those shoulders down at ring height. And again, sometimes you'll see a Maltese where the body needs to be in the rings. Those are called Yamawakis. First one in the pike position, second one tucked.
Looking for that 2-second hold on all strength moves.
Absolutely correct. Got to show the position for 2 seconds. Same thing on these handstands. Right now looks good, very clean. And not the most difficult routine, but clean. And now let's see how he can finish. Look at this landing. Full twisting double back. Not bad, a little step, very clean. Should score okay.
Rob, what's the advantage of having maybe a little bit lower start value, but make sure that you get that hit from that first routine?
You know what, that's kind of a part of something the coach has to deal with, and looking at his lineup, and I think it is important. You want to hit that first set. So again, though, if you're not starting with the high difficulty, high start value, you got to make sure you hit.
Only 4 guys going on the still rings for the Iowa Hawkeyes tonight, so that's the first of 4. And Szymanski will start things off well for Iowa. Now Harris Coleman on the horse for Minnesota, the junior out of Gainesville, Florida. He's 11th in the nation on this event so far this season.
And a nice option for Minnesota to put one of their best guys up second in this event. And again, you can see the how quickly he works, the speed. Beautiful amplitude on that full twisting scissor.
Earlier, Russell Dabritz came up with a 14.2 on this apparatus for Minnesota.
And right there, we saw multiple skills on one pommel. Great bonus. Little trouble right there, but he saved it. Little form break, works through it. There's those mega travels. Coming back, looks good. Russian Moore's on the end. He's got to come up to 45 degrees. There it is. You saw him pump it up there. Great finish. The Gophers keep it rolling, Mike.
Mike Burns talked about improving the hit percentage of his team in this meet. So far, hitting everyone going for 100% so far tonight.
And again, it's a small thing, but again, it's a requirement that dismount, the legs go through 45 degrees, and you saw him dig down, get on his elbows, and pump it up there. Great finish.
Coleman came up with a first-place finish the last time that the Gophers met up with the Iowa Hawkeyes. And we'll head over to Matt McGrath now on the still rings, the junior from Wheaton, Illinois. Of course, his knee not involved in the still rings, but he did have that knee scoped just about 4 weeks ago, and here he is competing again for the Hawkeyes.
Modern medicine is unbelievable. You know, you hear about the scopes on the knees, and the guys are back in the gym or out on the field within a week. It's amazing.
Szymanski went up earlier and had a 13.9 on these rings.
So again, you saw the score is not that great. That's because that start value wasn't too strong. Nice Yamawakis by Matt. There's a whippet cross. Beautiful position.
He's coming off a season-high 14.9 against Oklahoma a week ago on this event. Trying to build from there.
And right now, Matt looks very good. Nice positions. No major breaks. Beautiful front giant to handstand. Locks it in. Dismount. Let's see if his knee can handle it. Double twisting, double back. He did not water it down with a bad knee. That was a great finish.
Always tough to watch the knees. You got to be careful with them, and he's able to come down. Did not look like he was favoring it at all, Rob.
Not at all. Right there, we watched those Yamawaki through the whippet to L cross. And again, you talk about bad knee. When you're twisting, two twists, look at that. Double twist, beautiful, way up in the air. Nice finish.
McGrath, an All-American on the vault a year ago. He's not competing on the vault tonight, but he will. They hope, J.D. Reeve and the entire team hope to have him back on the vault at Big Ten championships. Now John Scallon on the horse for the Golden Gophers. Can he keep it going? This perfect night for Minnesota so far.
Yeah, this is really good for Minnesota, especially on this event, that they've got two guys with two big scores already. And again, their third guy up is capable of posting a really big score.
Third guy up is 14th in the nation on this event.
Right there, we just saw a 360-degree care. Big skill. Very smooth on his scissors. Keep the speed up here. Come on, keep it going. You can see some small breaks. He's getting tired, Mike. Let's see if he can pull it out. Oh! I don't know. You know, again, I've been doing him watch a long time. You could tell the legs were breaking. He was running out of gas. I thought maybe he was going to dismount when he was on the end there. But when he started to move back, I'm like, oh, we're in trouble. Here's where he got in trouble. You can see he's off balance, form breaks. And again, this event is too sensitive to mistakes. If you get off a little bit, you're off.
Heard the gasp from the Minnesota fans as they wanted to see another big hit. Scallon will finish that off for Minnesota as the Gophers still have two good scores to start. A 14.3 for Harris Coleman after the 14.2 by Russell Dabritz. And now Angelo Bronzino for the Hawkeyes on the still rings, the sophomore from Aurora, Illinois. He set a career high with a 5th place finish against Oklahoma a week ago and a 14.9 last week.
Now we're going to see some power. Oh, I love it. That's called an Azarian roll to Maltese, and then he pops back lever cross. And these strength parts is what's boosting his score. Unbelievable. 3 awesome strength parts to start his set. Another strength part back to Bryce Maltese. Body right in the rings. That's what the judges are looking for.
Rob, we talked about it. Only 4 gymnasts going on this event for Iowa. How much more difficult and how much more magnified is each performance for each of these individuals?
Again, Mike, since 4 scores count and you only have 4 guys, you got to hit all 4. So if you have a miss, you're counting a miss.
McGrath with a 14.7 a moment ago for Iowa.
And right there's a little break. He's been a little short on those handstands, struggling a little bit. Tuck double back, nice finish. Again, a little bit of a weak dismount, not necessarily a deduction because it's weak, but again, not going to help his score.
Bronzino with the first of 4 events he'll compete on tonight for Iowa.
Get those great positions on those crosses.
Back over to the pommel horse and the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Ellis Mannon, the freshman from Indianapolis, 9th overall in the country on this event. Could be another big hit for Minnesota. But he has been struggling as of late. Over the last 2 weeks, has not been able to break 14, Rob. So we'll see if he can turn it around tonight.
And the first time we've seen the Thomas Flair spindle hops. Very unique, very difficult. And a lot of times, Mike, the sport has gotten so difficult when you're going for the big score. You've got some difficult skills, and a lot of times you're going to miss those. So it's a matter, I guess, of working through that, and that might be what Ellis is doing. Now we talked, he hit the hard skills, and it looked like he fell off on something relatively easy.
And we saw John Scallon before. He did not have the number he was looking for. He came up with a 13.3, and here another break for Minnesota.
There's the spindle flares we saw. And again, Ellis's goal here is to get every 10th. Again, those are called spindles when you turn the opposite way that your circles are going.
Push, push.
Right now looks good. Hit his foot on the horse, that's a deduction. Overall, great set. You could see where this would score big without that fall.
So back-to-back breaks and misses for the Golden Gophers. One more look at the foot connecting.
Boom, right there, you see it hit. The judges can hear it, and we got microphones out there. I think you can hear it at home too.
So the Gophers, after 4 completions now on the pommel horse, a couple more to go for Minnesota, but the final competitor for the Hawkeyes on the still rings, Anton Grashayev, we talked about him before, set the school record with a 15.25 on this event last week. He owns the top 6 overall scores, Rob, in school history at Iowa on the still rings.
Yes, this is going to be impressive. Again, we're going to see some incredible strength parts. Here we go, Azarian roll. Beautiful cross, he pulls out to Maltese. Unbelievable. Back lever pop cross. Little head bop there, showing it off. Adding a little style. There's the Yamawaki in the pike position, then the tuck position, right to a back of Bryce Maltese. Beautiful. Nice handstand position. It is a requirement that you swing to handstand on this event. Still a front giant again, great position. No bobbles. Come on, let's see the landing here. Full twisting double layout, wow! That's how it's done, Mike. That's why he's got the school records.
When we talked to J.D. Reeve before this meet, he said last week he could have had a 15.5 if he didn't have a step at the end on the dismount. No step tonight.
I've been watching this for many years. I am still in awe of these strength parts. Full twisting double layout, nails the landing. There was nothing the judges could deduct on this set. Here it is again. 2 flips, stretch position, full twist. Beautiful.
We'll see what number he puts up. As we mentioned, only 4 going for Iowa. You see Javier Balboa, he usually is up there on the still rings, but dealing with that stress problem in his back, so not competing tonight. And we'll head back over to the pommel horse with the Golden Gophers and Steffen Beck, the sophomore from Tampa, Florida. And really a good rotation there for Iowa, because even though they didn't start off as well as they may have liked, they do get 4 hits.
And unfortunately, the Gophers are coming off 2 misses in a row. Let's see if we can get the momentum back.
Mannon scored with a 13.9 despite the break.
Steffen looks good right now. Tongue fade at the other end. And he's got the look on his face like, I can't believe I just did that. And it really looked like he put his hand in the wrong position. And again, on this event, A small mistake will not get right there. You see his fingers kind of get caught up on the leather. This event is brutal.
Seems like it might be a bit contagious, Rob. After a couple of breaks, they continue to go for the Gophers here. We get all excited about Minnesota on the floor exercise, but Iowa had the bigger challenge starting off on the horse, and now we see how it's affecting Minnesota here.
Absolutely. So right now the Gophers are going to have to kind of miss. Steffens looks good here in the second half of his set. Great finish, way to get every 10.
Update from the still rings. Anton Grishayev came up with a 14.7. So the Hawkeyes finish off with a good routine there, but another look at the dismount here from Beck.
Very nice, hits that 45-degree angle you need to do on that dismount. Unfortunately, a 1-point deduction on that fall.
Welcome back to Minneapolis, where we are now joined by head coach for the Iowa Hawkeyes, J.D. Reeve. Coach, your team struggled a bit in that first rotation on the horse. How'd you feel they recovered, though, in the still rings?
Rings was great. You know, we put 4 up, 4 count. Everybody had to take their job and do it, and they did a good job with that. We'll see if we can keep that momentum rolling here in the floor.
JD, I know you're only a couple events into this competition. Are you kind of seeing the improvement you're looking for week over week so far?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we make a mistake, the next guy gets up, he's got to do his job. So consistency is key and not falling apart when somebody makes a mistake. And we're starting to see that from these guys.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Good luck in the rest of the meet.
Thanks, guys.
We'll take a look at how J.D. Reeves' squad did on the still rings. And again, only 4 competitors, but those are some good scores, Rob.
Decent scores. Again, absolutely right. 4 guys, they all had to hit because 4 scores count. So good event for Iowa.
Another rough go of it on the pommel horse for the Gophers. Got a couple of decent scores, but overall it was a struggle for both teams on the horse tonight.
It was, and especially coming off that unbelievable performance on floor to have struggle, lose all that. All decent.
We'll take a look at the overall team score. Minnesota on top by about 4 points over Iowa. Brockport with a 99.4. First to go on the floor exercise for the Iowa Hawkeyes in this third rotation, Devin Clark, the freshman from East Hartford, Connecticut. He's been stellar on this routine so far this year, Rob. He comes up and you really see great elevation from him on the floor.
Right there, full twisting double back, and you're right about elevation. He just dropped out of the clouds on that first pass. Backward half punch, full twist. Yep, little break right there. You are not allowed to touch that white part of the floor exercise. And again, on a kind of a silly transition part.
So even when it's not a step, Rob, it's still going to be that deduction just because the top of his foot, when it was flipped over, touched outside.
That's if the judges saw it.
They don't have quite as many cameras as we do.
Exactly. At a big championship meet, they'll have 4 judges on each of the sides, and one of them will see it. Arabian double front. Oh, there's the first big break for Iowa on floor. Looked great up to that point. Tough landing on the dismount.
Tough way to finish for Devin Clark. A look at it here.
It's an Arabian double front. Right here, he's going to do a half turn. Now 2 foot forward. Over rotates. Could have come out a little sooner. And you can see him kind of like, oh, the floor's hot. Why did I touch my hands?
Hawkeyes starting off with not the routine they were looking for on the floor exercise. Over to the still rings for the Gophers and Ross Cameratta, the captain for this Minnesota team, a senior out of Independence, Ohio. Again, they look to their leaders to be able to get things going and started well.
It's got to feel good for Mike Burns to have a senior captain started off. Beautiful Azarian to cross. Tip cross. Beautiful arm position, shoulders down the rings. It's called a straddle plunge, a little bit high. Nice shoot handstand, good position. There's the Yamawakis. The most difficulty in this routine, but again, as we mentioned, put a guy up, it's gonna hit, clean, start us off strong. Dismounts, gotta stick it, oh! And I thought it was only gonna be a full twisting double back. He added an extra half twist for the extra bonus. Takes the break. Right there's in the straddle L position. And here's where he had the trouble. It's 2 flips, 1.5 twist, and just had those legs open up too soon, not enough rotation, takes the big fall.
Is that one of those things that you know as you're going, Rob, that it's about to happen?
Mike, you're absolutely right. You've done it so much. Your air awareness, you know you're short, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Angelo Bronzino out on the floor exercise for the Hawkeyes.
Beautiful first pass, pike double back. Not the most difficult, but very clean. Double twisting, front flip, layout position.
Season high is just a 13.7 on this event, so he's looking to improve tonight.
Nice 2.5 twist, great landing so far. If he keeps it up, I think he'll be able to improve on that score.
Earlier, Devin Clark came up with a 13.9 for Iowa to start things off. Of course, you see a couple of other gymnasts in the foreground. There's some high school competitors and club teams out here tonight as well in the sports pavilion. But we're focusing tonight on the Hawkeyes and the Gophers. Important Big Ten meet tonight.
And right now, Angelo looks great. Great landings. Handspring full twist, punch Branny. Let's see the finish here. Run up back handspring, double twist. Another great landing. Again, not the most difficult, but he's gonna score well, build some momentum.
Final pass here from Bronzino again.
Most of the dismounts are gonna be 2.5 twists. This is only a double twist. So you're expected to see a nice strong landing, which he has.
And back over to the still rings and the Golden Gophers. Earlier, it was a 12.7 for Ross Cameratta, so not the start the Gophers were looking for, especially on that dismount for Cameratta. Now Zack Chase, he'll get the chance here. We talked about Chase before. He's the Big Ten champion on the vault. We'll see him later on that apparatus, but he did win the rings as well as the floor exercise and the vault the last time Minnesota competed against Iowa. So this could be a big routine.
Here's another one of those monster strength parts. Azarian roll to Maltese. Kick cross. Beautiful position. Nice shoot to handstand. No movement. That's what the judges like to see. Nice solid positions. Another nice front giant. No swing, body's tight, hike Yamawaki, tuck Yamawaki. A little bit of a break in there. You'd like to see those move a little smoother. It's called a hollow back press to hand. See the dismount? There's the dismount that his teammate just did and had trouble. He nails it. Gophers are back on track.
So Chase with a recovery for the Gophers. See again from the beginning here.
There's that routine. Maltese. Look at that, straight, flat, beautiful. And this is the dismount Ross had troubles with. 1.5 twist. Nice finish, he's pumped.
His team knew it when he came down and finished that routine. And Chase continuing his strong performance tonight. We'll see him again on the vault later, but setting up the Gophers well in the rings.
Giving you a kiss.
Now Grashayev on the floor exercise. We've seen him already twice tonight. And now his opportunity here on the floor. 5 events this evening for Anton Grashayev.
Oh, trouble. And it almost looked like he thought he had it easily. You know, he looked really casual and landed low.
Earlier this season in a meet with Illinois, Grashayev came down on his head and suffered a concussion, ended up missing a meet after that, so he's had his struggles on this event earlier this season.
Nice white hand handstand. And Mike, I think a lot of what's going on for Iowa, JD's in his 2nd year, the team is rebuilding, he's pressing these guys, he's asking for more difficulty, so I think you're gonna see more breaks. The athletes expect it. JD expects it. Yes, we want to go to the top in 1 year, but it's going to be tough. So we're going to see a lot of breaks, but I love the fact that guys like Anton, I think, are stepping up and they're trying the more difficult skills.
Anton, a junior who's had to adjust to the system that JD Reed brings in. Anytime that you have that transition in the middle of a career for any college athlete, it can be difficult to adjust to.
And this is his first pass where he had trouble. And look, he comes out right there like he thinks, hey, I got this all day. And he's short and has to go to his backside. Here's the Thomas flares. Beautiful.
Shayev not happy with that performance, his set on the floor exercise. And we'll head back over to the still rings with Travis Heaver, the redshirt senior out of Mendota Heights, Minnesota. This is his one and only event on the night. He had a career high a week ago against UIC with a 14.7.
Travis has the highest start value on this event for the Gophers. There's that Azarian roll to Maltese, a little low. And back over, popped across. So on that mount, the judge is going to take a small deduction. Back of Bryce Maltese. Not quite hitting those positions. That one he nailed beautifully. That cross was very nice. And again, you talked about it earlier, Mike. You got to show positions for at least 2 seconds. There's the Yamawaki's right to it. Back up Bryce, straddle plunge. Beautiful hollow back press handstand. Oh, little struggle right there. The arm's bent. The dismount, full twisting double back. Wow, way to stick it. Again, a couple small breaks on those big strength parts. But again, fought through it. Nice finish.
A stuck landing for Travis Heaver. We'll look at his dismount one more time.
2 flips, 1 twist. Sees the landing right there. Nails it.
He's had a couple of deductions in the middle there, Rob, and of course it looked like he was holding maybe sometimes a bit beyond 2 seconds, waiting to make his next move. Is he going to see deductions from that kind of thing?
No, if you go over 2 seconds, that is not a deduction. There's no time limit on rings. So a lot of times in an easier skill like an L, you actually catch your breath.
Samuel Wright now on the floor for the Hawkeyes.
Very difficult first pass, but has trouble on the landing. It was a double full punch front, low and out of bounds.
We saw Grashayev before. Another break here for the Hawkeyes. Grashayev with the break finishes with a 13.6, and not what the Hawkeyes were looking for.
I think this is a case of, again, trying some of those more difficult passes where we can get those bonus points, but it's not quite ready.
Wright is a sophomore out of Lafayette, Colorado.
Double twist, nice landing. He's gonna dismount with 2.5 twists. Very nice finish. Again, there's the big step. So unfortunately, again, we saw some really nice difficulty from Samuel, but again, big breaks on the landings. Here's that first pass. 2 twists going forward, very difficult. And there you can see he's off axis low, touches the hand, goes out of bounds, big breaks.
4 competitors down now for the Hawkeyes, and only 1 hit so far with Bronzino with a 14.4. Now it'll be Steffen Beck over on the still rings, trying to build off Travis Heaver, who had a 14.3. Second and final event, we'll see Steffen Beck tonight, the sophomore from Tampa, Florida. Beck is 33rd in the nation on still rings with a season high of 14.5.
Now for the back up Bryce cross. Beautiful position. Back up Bryce plunge. And again, Mike, you can see though the level of difficulty on those strength parts is what's going to keep that start value down.
Looks as if he may have been a bit off level there when he got up. Is that kind of a deduction they'll be looking for?
Absolutely. Again, it's critical the position you're in, how long you hold it, and also when usually your legs are straddled, it's a less difficult skill. When those legs come together, you're going to get a higher score. Beautiful swing though. Nice front giant, excellent extension, arms are locked. Dismount, double, the 1.5 double back. Big step on the landing, but nice finish.
Beck finishing things off on the still rings there. Look at his strength move before.
There was a straddle plunge right to a shoot handstand, very clean. And again, this is a double back with 1.5 twists. Has to take a couple little steps there in the landing. Not the highest start value, but nice and clean.
Back over to the floor exercise with Brandon Field, and this is where the Hawkeyes, it comes down to it again. The gymnasts know that they have to hit here after seeing a couple of poor routines. They're gonna have to turn it around. The freshman from New Zealand has to put one together here.
Full twisting Arabian, 1 and 3, nice start. Handspring, double twist, again, some steps on the landing. Nothing major at this point. Arabian double front, there's trouble right there though.
Trouble, this is one of the few times that Field has competed on the floor exercise this season. We talked about it before, Rob. When you come in, some of the guys who haven't competed at all this year and then get their chance, and then some of them who have their first opportunity on an event, it's very difficult to break in the middle of the season.
That's true, Mike. And again, we kind of speculated too that the coaches have really been pushing these guys hard. Kind of like, again, a 2-week phase before we taper down before championships. So I think we're starting to see a little bit of that. The athletes are tired. They're trying new skills, and then you've got a situation where guys are coming in the middle of the season. And a triple full dismount, again, great difficulty. I mean, they are trying the tough skills, but not quite there yet. Watch this dismount again. This is a triple full. This is big-time gymnastics, but again, just a quarter twist too short. And again, you got to be careful of injury. And again, you can kind of see he's like, I'm not quite there yet. But again, hopefully in the back of their mind is, I'm going to get it.
You talked about it, Rob. There's still a month away, so there's time in these meets to work on routines, work on it in practice, but also bring it to a meet like this one on the road. DJ Rep now over on the still rings for the Gophers. Again, going all around this evening. And we'll get a look at him here on the rings. Beck earlier came up with a 14.0, so 3 scores that will count already for Minnesota. Still 2 gymnasts to go, and they'll look to Rep to be able to complete and get their 4 scores that'll count.
DJ mounts with a kip cross, pulls up to Maltese. Nice front lever pop cross. That third cross I thought was the best position of the 3 strength parts. Very nice. The Maltese, and that's kind of giving the judges that feeling of, was that 2 seconds or not? Very clean so far. Back upright, straddle plunge. Legs together. Again, there's the difficulty going up. Full twisting double back. Nice finish. Again, that should score okay. Not the greatest difficulty, but clean. Nice job by DJ.
What the Gophers were looking for after coming back from the pommel horse, where they really struggled, put together enough scores to be able to put up a good number overall in this event.
That's a great point, Mike. We're seeing DJ here with those plunge skills. And now the dismount. Yes, after the difficulty on pommel horse, it's nice to put a nice group of sets together.
Rep for the Gophers on the still rings. See if he can improve on his season high of 14.3 on that event. We'll go back over to the floor, and Matt McGrath for the Hawkeyes. And we talked about it before. They only have 1 score that you really want to count at this point. Only have a 14.4 that they would count. Everything else has been below 14. So McGrath, who owns the school record on this event with a 15.5, is someone they look to get a big number.
And Matt is an explosive tumbler. Very clean. Back 1.5 punch, full twist, both in stretched body position.
Talked about that knee before. He had it scoped earlier this season.
Full twisting Arabian 1 and 3. At this point, you can kind of see the confidence that he exudes on this event versus his teammates who struggled. Again, showing things off, very smooth. Great landings. Nice handstand. At this point, there's probably 2 more passes. If he can hit these landings, it's going to score big. Oh, you got to be kidding me. And again, it's a side pass. That was probably the easiest skill in his routine. And these almost look like little mental breaks that they're having. Dismount, Arabian double front, nice finish. Oh, too bad. Again, beautiful. And then on that little side pass, which is called a Rudy, front flip with 1.5 twist. Here it is, punch, 1.5 twist. And again, he does these in his sleep. To have that landing touch his hand, what a tough break. Dismount, Arabian double front, half turn, double front. Tough to see the landing, nails it.
One of those routines and moments there on the one pass that'll drive a coach crazy, and something that's a bit easier is missed by someone like Matt McGrath. Now Russell Dabritz, he'll close things out on the still rings in terms of those competing to count their scores on this event for Minnesota. And Dabritz on the still rings, we talked about it in our open, Rob. He's 11th in the nation on this event, coming off a career high. A week ago, he set numerous career highs among several events last week, so he's really hitting his stride at this point in the season.
We're going to see some of those powerhouse strength parts. Syrian rolled across, back lever, pop cross. And I love, again, we talk about position, he just nails them. Exclamation point. Plunge in the straddle position. Again, you can see how flat his body is. Beautiful shoot handstand, no movement at all. Great lines. Nice front giant. Like Yamawaki, top Yamawaki's right to a back upright straddle L. And right here, this is giving him a chance to catch his breath, get ready for the finish. There's that 1.5 double back. Nice finish, very clean, it's gonna score well.
All right, Rob, putting you on the spot. If you're the judge, is that better than his career high 15.2?
Oh, geez. I'm gonna say he's gonna tie his high. There's room for improvement. Here's the dismount, 1.5 twists, and that would be part of it right there, is sticking that landing.
We'll see how the judges score that routine by Russell Dabritz. 3 rotations now in the books from Minneapolis. As coming up, the 4th rotation, Minnesota on the vault, Iowa on the parallel bars. Welcome back to Minneapolis and the Sports Pavilion, where now we're joined by head coach for the Minnesota Golden Gophers, Mike Burns. Coach, 3 rotations in the books, but that performance on the floor exercise, is that something you may have wanted to save for the Big Ten Championships?
No, that's just what we want to do now. So we get to the Big Ten Championships. That's natural. Actually, I think we can do a little better than that. So I think, you know, we want to get our best performance in now so we know what it feels like. Wasn't that great? That was awesome floor exercise.
Mike, that was awesome floor, but I'll bring in the bad news. What happened on Pommel Horse?
What are you talking about, Rob? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, Pommel Horse, we had a few hiccups there. We had a few speed bumps. Luckily, this isn't the Big Ten Championships, all right? We got work to do. Obviously, we got some great Pommel Horse swingers. They weren't great tonight. You know, you're either going to be great or you're not. Tonight, we weren't. Unfortunately, because we gave away probably 2.5 points in that event and, you know, a chance for a great team score. But, you know, we're just going to put that behind us now and move forward to vault, which is a great event for us.
Coach, thanks for the time. Best of luck in the rest of the meet.
You bet, Mike. Wolf, man.
And a look at Burns' Gophers on the still rings. Russell Dabritz, no surprise, the 14.7, but several other good scores, Rob.
Absolutely. Minnesota came back strong after Pommel Horse. Nice ring event for the Gophers.
Tough going for the Iowa Hawkeyes on the floor exercise. The numbers not where they wanted, but Matt McGrath with that knee problem still putting together a very solid, even though it was a watered down routine.
Right, Matt is a very explosive tumbler and vaulter. We didn't get to see him on vault, but again, some nice scores, but still work to be done for the Hawkeyes.
After 3 rotations halfway through the meet, Minnesota on top 173.4 over Iowa to 168.7. And a look at the all-around DJ Rep with a 42.1 thus far. Brody Szymanski with a 41.2. Starting things off on the vault, Yoshi Morinishi for the Gophers, the sophomore from Chesterfield, Missouri.
We're going to see a round-off entry vault. 1.5 twist, nice landing, great start. Not the highest start value. Again, this in terms of if you want to score at home, this is the event where you can score because there's not a lot going on. But a great start for the Gophers. Again, round-off entry style vault, up in the air, 1.5 twists. And again, you can see the 2 white lines. The athletes have to land between those 2 lines. If you're on the line, it's a deduction.
Teammates love it, as does Coach Mike Burns. Gophers getting things started well on the vault. Anton Grushayev again on the parallel bars. His chance now, again competing in 5 events tonight and competing on the parallel bars for the first time this season. So a difficult situation for him, filling in for Javier Balboa, who's one of the best in the nation on this event.
But again, you've got to love his leadership in that he's been working out and he's prepared to step in. And right there, we've seen that skill on the still rings, a whip it. Giant front uprights back to the middle. It's called a Healy twirl. Mike, on this event, you're going to see the athletes do skills from support on their hands. They have to do skills from their upper arms, and they also have to do skills where they're swinging underneath the bars. That's called a Diamondov. Stuck's a little short. That's not necessarily a deduction, but it's a lesser skill value, so not as much bonus. Pike double back. I'll tell you what, I think he's close to actually making this team on P-bars.
Well, Rob, you talked about the still rings, bringing some of the skills from there. He's one of the best in the country on the still ring, so does that help him out on the parallel bars?
Absolutely. And obviously he's strong, so whenever you're strong in gymnastics, it's going to allow you to do a lot of different things.
Back over to the vault, and Adam LaFleur, the captain, senior out of New Brighton, Minnesota, on the vault for the Gophers.
Adam's going to do a handspring double front. Very tough landing, 2 flips. Oh, he just pulls it out. It's always so tough to tell. Deep squat, but I think he got his feet in there.
We'll check on the replay.
Good.
See on the replay whether or not maybe just a bit of a touch.
Watch this handspring, 2 flips, pulls it through. Yes, he got his feet in there. Little hop on the landing. In the air, pulls those knees as hard as he can. Nice job.
Adam LaFleur, the second to go on the vault. 15.0 for Adam LaFleur. Great vault there for the Gophers. Minnesota, of course, looking at the vault as an opportunity to score big any time that you're on the vault. You have the chance to get a big score and continue to build for that overall team score. This, their first chance for Minnesota. Iowa will have their chance as well.
You're absolutely right, Mike. Vault is a high-scoring event, but again, the problem is everybody's going to score high on vault.
Brody Szymanski on the parallel bars now. Szymanski looking to build off Grushayev, who started things off well. Anton Grushayev coming up with a 13.5, not the best number, but for somebody who had not done the parallel bars, admirable effort.
Absolutely. Now we're watching some nice skills on the end of the bar. We saw support work, giant skills. Now he's back in the middle. Back toss. And there's a skill from his upper arms, a back uprise to handstand. Pike double back. Wow, he did most of his set out on the end. Boom, nice job. And I think we've talked about this, when athletes are clean, they're moving quickly, the set looks confident.
Szymanski has not crossed 14 yet on the parallel bars this season, so that could possibly change after this routine.
This was very clean. I like this set. Small hop on the landing, but overall, that was a very clean routine.
Back over to the vault, and Sean Bauer, the freshman for Minnesota. Came up with a 14.7 last week on this event.
Round off entry, double twist, he lands it, but again, that big step, giving away 3/10 on the landing.
And you saw maybe his foot come down on the line. You can land on the line, just not outside of it.
Correct. Here it is, round off on, 2 twists. He lands inside the white lines. The step afterwards doesn't matter if you go up, but you're going to get that deduction for the step.
3 vaulters down now for the Gophers, and we'll head back over to the parallel bars. A 13.9, matching the season high for Brody Szymanski. Zack Chase now on the parallel bars for the Hawkeyes. He's coming off a strong performance with a season high of 14.25 last week at #1 Oklahoma.
Beautiful so far. That skill back to the middle of the bars, let's call it just a halt. It's a front up brace, back straddle cut. Right there, beautiful front and a quarter. A little trouble right there, but he fought through it. It's back to handstand. It's called the Diamond. Beautiful, just nailed that. Stutz, thought he got in trouble, but fought that out. Finished nicely. Back up right straddle cut right there. That drop of his legs is going to be a deduction. Pike double back. Nice job. Way to go. Very clean. That should score well for Iowa. Beautiful
strength.
Yep, beautiful strength. Here's the dismount. Beautiful pike position. Nails the landing.
Vaults again now with Adam Kern, the sophomore from Albuquerque, New Mexico, 24th overall in the nation on this event. Seen some great vaults so far, and then some of the best for Minnesota coming up here shortly.
We're going to see the same vault his teammate Adam LaFleur did, the handspring double front. Let's see for a little taller landing. Let's see if he can land up higher. 2 flips. Oh, yes, up taller. Mike was in the way, but I think it was a good landing.
You saw the spin move from Coach Burns, and the team, as well as Adam Kern, fired up after that one.
Handspring onto the table. 2 flips. Oh, yeah, much better. Nice block off the platform.
See Coach Burns spin move. Loves it.
Nice pirouette from Coach Burns.
An update on some of the scores. A 15.2 for Adam Kern. Sean Bauer before with a 14.7 for Minnesota. Over to the parallel bars. Mitchell Landau now up. A freshman, again, who's been consistent throughout the year. Zack Chase came up with a 13.8 just a moment ago. So nothing over 14 so far for the Hawkeyes on the parallel bars. They're going to look to Mitchell Landau to try to do it here.
Front upright, back straddle cut. Keeps the handstand. Nice giant. Giant front upright out to the end. He's going to pirouette. There's that giant front uprise. Very clean, moving nicely. Beautiful lines, great handstand position. There's that diameter. Oh, small steps there. Nice stutz again. Really shows a great handstand position. Back toss. This routine is really, he's hit every skill in the book so far. Pike double. Yes. Wow, for a freshman. I think this is a great kid that Iowa can build on here going forward. There's the peach handstand. Nice giant. Landau led the Hawkeyes with a 14.7 the last time that they faced off against Minnesota. DJ Rep on the vault for Minnesota now. The all-around competitor has a season high of 15.0 on this event. Can he improve on it? Round-off entry on top of the table, 2.5 twists. Wow, did that happen fast. Great landing, that's gonna score big.
And you saw that hop, but he did not go beyond the line. When he landed, it was the hop that touched the line.
Correct. So he round-offs onto the table. It's 2.5 twists, so he finishes facing out. Nice job. The only deduction is that big hop.
Gopher teammates fired up for Rep as the vault has continued to prove crucial for every team. Minnesota doing well on it tonight. And back over to the parallel bars, a 13.5 for Mitchell Landau a moment ago. Now McClay, the sophomore out of Kenosha, Wisconsin. This is his event, the one apparatus he competes on. He had a season high and led the team with a 14.3 at Oklahoma last week.
That's with a peach on the end. Giant front uprights back to the middle of the bars. Healy twirl. Nice Diamondov. Stutz hitting those handstand positions. Back toss, beautiful. Looks great so far. Let's hit this landing. Pike double. Nice job. A little bent knees and that double back and a small step, but very nice. That's going to score well. There's that Stutz from the end. Looks great. Back toss. Beautiful shot right there. Here's that double. And again, you'll see his knees bend a little bit. He knows he's in trouble, but again, nice finish.
Jack McClay putting up a solid routine for the Hawkeyes. We'll see how he scores. And now over to Zack Chase, the Big Ten champion on the vault last year, 13th in the nation so far. We'll see what he can bring.
There's the same vault that we just saw from BJ. Wow. Nice landing, and you could see it almost looked like he was going to stick it and then had to take the step. And that's really the difference on this event is that landing. Again, round off up on the table, 2.5 twists. Nice and high, beautiful stretch position. Watch how extended he is in the air. Look how straight his body is. Great form, toes are pointed, beautiful.
Rob, are you getting a bit of a familiar feeling from the floor exercise for this Minnesota team, hitting every single routine down the floor?
Absolutely, and it actually looks like they're building. Each vault is better, each floor routine was better. And like Mike said, unfortunately, tough event was Pommel Horse so far.
A 15.2 on the vault for Zack Chase. Now Matt McGrath will finish things off on the parallel bars for the Hawkeyes. We do want to mention, of course, Javier Balboa, who is 5th in the nation on the P-bars, not competing tonight. So Iowa does miss him and needs some other scores to take his place.
And parallel bars, as far as I'm concerned, wow, that was a really nice skill by Matt. Parallel bars, as far as I'm concerned, is one of the most difficult events now in men's gymnastics. The skills they have to do to get the scores, like we just saw, that backflip with a half twist, taking the hit on your upper arm. There it is again. I mean, it's just a brutal event.
The pain they have to endure to get the scores on the parallel bars.
So in the old days, again, you're worried about dislocating your fingers. Now you're hitting your upper arms, you're hitting your elbows. You can still dislocate your fingers. Oh, little trouble right there. But Matt's routine is really packed with difficulty. Double back, nice job, fought through it. Again, that's a case of filled with that difficulty, but given a little bit back on the execution, but hopefully it comes together.
A keeper for Matt McGrath, the junior out of Wheaton, Illinois. We'll look at the dismount one more time.
Pike double back, nice rotation, takes a small step. Right there's a back touch. You can see the arms bent, small deduction. You want to just knock it out right in handstand with straight arms.
5th rotation coming up from Minneapolis on the Big Ten Network as Minnesota will head to the parallel bars. The Hawkeyes on the high bar next. Always hear from BTN personalities, get programming information, and so much more. Follow the BTN on Twitter and on Facebook today. Mike Wolf alongside Rob Brown. And Rob, we've seen Minnesota put together 2 fantastic rotations so far. Iowa has to keep up. They're going to have their chance coming up a little bit later on the vault, but so far a very strong meet for Minnesota.
Mike, you're right. Minnesota has shown some great events, some great gymnastics. Iowa, too. We haven't seen it all come together for both teams, but overall, I think both teams are going the right way.
So we'll see how they continue throughout the rest of the evening here as the 5th rotation continues on the Big Ten Network. With that, we'll take a look at the vault for the Golden Gophers. What a performance. Another huge rotation, Rob. 3 different 15s. Any one of those scores could have counted.
Absolutely. At this point, the Gophers are piling on. They are looking good. Some great scores on the vault.
And for the Hawkeyes, an important event and rotation on the parallel bars. Jack McClay came up with a 14.2. Brody Szymanski was able to get that 13.9. Overall team standings after 4 rotations, Minnesota still on top and extending that lead, but Iowa will have a chance on the vault. Ross Cameratta will start things off on the parallel bars for the Minnesota Golden Gophers. And Rob, if you thought Minnesota had done things well on 2 rotations so far, the floor and the vault, here's their best event as a team. They're 4th in the nation on the parallel bars. A big reason why Cameratta, who's 11th overall in the country.
And as I mentioned, I think this is one of the most difficult events now as gymnastics has evolved. So if you are great on this event, it's really put you in a good position to score well as a team. Ross looks great so far, has hit all his skills, showing those little shorter handstand right there. Nice back toss. There's another one of those crazy skills. It's a Straley with a half turn, takes the pounding on the upper arms, pike double back, pulls it out. I thought he was going to be short, but he got his speed in there. Good start for the Gophers. Looks like the momentum continues.
Building on what they've done so far. Another look at the skill.
Right there, backflip with a half twist, and again, takes it on the biceps. Pike double back. A little low, small hop, but all together, nice start for the Gophers.
Over to the high bar and the Hawkeyes with Brandon Field. Just the 3rd time so far on the season that Brandon Field has competed on the high bar. Our first look at it this evening in this meet.
Has always been and probably always will be a very exciting event in men's gymnastics. His big release skill was a Tkachev. Looks great right now. Beautiful positions, beautiful form. A little flat right there on that jam. But again, not a lot of difficulty, so his start value is very low. So even if he hits this set, Mike, it's not going to score that well. Double twisting, double back. Nice finish. I love, he's got all the fundamentals there. He's got a lot to work with, but he needs more difficulty, so by next year, it should really come together.
The freshman out of Papakura, New Zealand.
There's that Tkachev. Beautiful extension, allows him to swing right into that giant. 2 twists, 2 flips, way up there, sees the landing, nails it.
You talked about it being difficult to score high when you have the low start value. At this point, Iowa down by about 11 to Minnesota, so it's going to be difficult for them to come back, even if they have a big vault, as we head over to the parallel bars. And Adam LaFleur now for Minnesota.
Beautiful Healy twirl. His hand kind of landed a little bit off axis, but he slid it forward, not a big deduction. Diamondov right to giant front uprise. There's that front uprise, back straddle cut. Really showing nice positions. No execution break so far. Back uprise straddle cut. Ooh, got in trouble, but powered it up. Hit the dismount pike double. Wow, I saw him last week. Almost had the same mistake. Great routine, over-rotated the dismount. He almost did the same thing, but caught it. Okay, watch right here's where he got in trouble. You can see him, run out of gas, but he's got enough strength to power it up. Again, last week, he went over and actually fell on his bottom, saved it that time. So nice set for Adam.
Able to stay on his feet for Adam LaFleur. And of course, he comes up after Ross Cameratta, who had a 14.6 to start things out. Over to the high bar again, Angelo Bronzino for Iowa. Brandon Field had a 13.6 to start things off. So that low start value, not a big number for him. We'll see what Bronzino can do.
Nice release move. Again, what you want to see on high bar, Mike, all the skills that they do should finish right handstand. So the more angle that you're off the handstand, the larger the deduction. I know Angelo looks good, clean, but again, not a lot of difficulty. Full twisting double layout, big hop on the landing. Again, clean, he hit, but because he does not have the difficulty, that doesn't give him the high start value, it's not going to score that well. Beautiful stretch position. Nice finish. but just not enough difficulty.
Ronzino came up with a 4th place finish on the high bar the last time the Hawkeyes met with Minnesota earlier this season. He had a 14.1 then. We'll see if he improved on that number after that routine. Ellis Mannon over on the parallel bars now, the 3rd gymnast to go for Minnesota.
Must peach the handstand, a little short there. Giant front uprise. Oh, same thing, same problem Adam had. Ran out of gas on the handstand.
Adam came up with a 13.7 a moment ago.
There's that whip it again. Well done. Stuffs the hand, shows a beautiful handstand position. Diamondov, a little short. Again, no major break so far. Pike double back. Wow, very nice. Step on the landing. Again, you can see how the Gophers just keep pouring it on and why this is one of their best events.
A big number probably from a freshman. We see the dismount again.
Very nice. Great amplitude off the bars. Small step.
A lot of underclassmen stepping up for Minnesota. They've got great seniors, great leadership, but they also have some young ones out there doing some big things as well.
So yeah, it's easy to talk about the future. We're seeing some really strong freshmen making the team on some difficult events.
Over to the high bar and Todd Becker, the junior out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Ronzino also with a 13.6, matching Brandon Fields. So again, the Hawkeyes not getting the numbers they were looking for. When we talked to J.D. Reeve, he said the team had not been able to complete a meet. They do well in maybe the first 3 or 4 rotations, but in the end, they've not been able to be consistent enough through those last 2.
Well, so far, they look good on high bar. Beautiful Jaeger. Nice height. He widens those hands. He's going to stoop in. It's called a jam. Oh, we're just giving him a compliment. Things are rolling, and there's a break.
Always the way, Rob, the announcer jinx.
And the skill he had trouble on was called a Weiler. And again, not the most difficult skill. Nice full twist over the top. Dismount. Full twisting double layup. Oh, I think he just lost his composure there. Ran out of gas. Here's where he had trouble. There's the jam. And again, gymnastic skills are based like the alphabet. A is the easiest kind of skill. B, more difficult, all the way up through E's. And again, you can see him going, oh, come on, man, that's an A skill. How are we having troubles on that?
And the story so far tonight for the Hawkeyes, just missing on those skills you would expect them to be able to complete. Over to the parallel bars, and DJ Rep again, all around tonight for Minnesota. Has a season high of 14.3 on this event. Ellis Mannon, we saw him before, came up with a 14.0.
Very unique mount. Clear hip from the side. There's that whip it again, right to a nice straddle cut. Looks great. There's that crazy backflip with a half twist. I like how DJ works. He's very quick, really shows off his skills. Small break right there. Stutz with another break. All right, take a breath. Oh. All right, fought through it. And again, sometimes this happens. So you saw a couple small breaks. So he's in that last handstand going, I'm a little tired. And you'll see them overdo it on the dismount. On the dismount. There's this mount again, very unique.
Do you need anything in here?
There's a nice, it's called a front uprise. Back with a half. There's the pike double, and again, pulls his feet through and has to take 3 steps.
And Rob, we talked about it before, one of the few all-arounders that we're seeing tonight, and in the 5th rotation, getting to that point where maybe he's just getting a bit too tired.
Yeah, that's absolutely part of it. Again, we've mentioned again, the coaches have been pressing these guys, both teams. Again, school, training hard, there's a lot going on. It's a long week.
Brody Szymanski up now, trying to recover for the Hawkeyes after Todd Becker came up with 11.3. Szymanski is a guy they can look to be consistent, possibly turn things around here on this rotation.
You're absolutely right, Mike. At this point, Iowa should start to score in the 14s if they can hit a set. Beautiful endo to full pirouette to L grip. Nice full pirouette again.
Big swing on that 5'11" frame for the Hawkeyes and Szymanski.
It is beautiful. Great extension. When you do those stalters, looks great. Ooh, right there, big difficulty. His wrists are turning that L grip, and then he goes into that endo. Full twisting double back. That's gonna get the Iowa back in the 14s. They needed that right there.
Would be their first 14 on this event tonight.
Double layout, full twist, small step. But again, some nice difficulty in that set.
Szymanski did finish first in the meet against UIC earlier this season on the high bar, so he's been known to put up some good numbers. Steve Jaciuk, the freshman out of New Berlin, Wisconsin, his chance now on the parallel bars. He sees action in the final 2 rotations. Rob, how difficult is it to sit around all night and wait and watch until it's your chance?
Well, when you're a home team and you know it's going to be Olympic order, you know when you're going to be up. So there's no excuses. You got to get yourself prepared. That's all there is to it. Nice peach day handstand right there. Beautiful, giant front uprise. And there's that front uprise backflip with a half twist. It's called a moi.
Jaciuk is 22nd in the nation on this event.
Healy twirl. He looks great right now, nailing the handstand positions. Back toss, great extension. Maybe he took a nap while he was waiting. He looks pretty strong here, Mike. Wow, that might have been the best set for Minnesota so far.
They're 4th in the nation for a reason. Steve Jaciuk with a big routine for the Gophers.
Mike, no mat on this side.
Here's that moi, front uprise, back flip with a half twist. Works through it beautifully. A nice lift, pike position, 2 flips. Small hop, but that's a great set.
Steve Jaciuk, the freshman, gets his chance and takes advantage of it. Head back over to the high bar, and Mitchell Landau, we saw him as a freshman come up with some nice performances. Saw it earlier for Iowa. Of course, Brody Szymanski, he came up with a 14.3 for Iowa earlier, so he got that number that the Hawkeyes were looking for. It's a new season high for Szymanski.
And that's what I think the Hawkeyes have been looking for, that building of scores. Nice to Tkachev, works out of it. Stalter right into that L grip. Those are called inverted giants. Looks again, a nice long body line. Looks beautiful on high bar. It's called an endo. Right to a full pirouette. Another full pirouette into that L grip. Stoops and jam right there, nails the handstand position. And there's that L grip and another endo. Nice difficulty. Nail it. Oh, great set. We got some momentum for Iowa. That step was the biggest break.
Building for the Hawkeyes after starting slowly and having the break in the middle. Now looking for possibly 2 back-to-back 14 performances on the high bar.
Right there's that difficult skill. His wrists are twisted, then comes into that stalk position. Great difficulty, great part for him.
You got it, Sam, come on.
One more for the Hawkeyes coming up in this rotation on the high bar, but we'll head back over to the parallel bars. And one of the treats tonight for all of the audience involved, as Russell Dabritz, 3rd in the nation on this event. He'll close things out for the Gophers.
And this is a big deal to have an athlete on your team that's ranked that high on this event. Again, one of the more difficult events now in men's gymnastics. And again, we saw how strong he was on rings, and you'll see how he just muscles through things. There's not going to be breaks. Beautiful position. Right there, big time skill. Giant backflip with a half turn. Diamondov nails the handstand. Stutz right there. Look at that, he kind of hops right off the bar, amplitude. And that giant front upright straddle cut, call it to halt. Wow, it's a smooth pike double if he hits this landing. That's why he's ranked number 3. That was smooth as silk, Mike.
He set a career high last week at UIC with a 15.3. Could it be another high number for him?
Absolutely.
Looks like it will be.
Absolutely. Again, you can see the amplitude. Watch him pop off the bars. Boom. Has a chance to stick. This just goes by a little bit. That was his biggest break in that set.
We'll see if he built on Steve Jaciuk's 14.6 as Dabritz finishes things off on the parallel bars for the Gophers. Samuel Wright will close things out for the Iowa Hawkeyes in rotation number 5 on the high bar. A chance for him to put together a good number and a score that will count. There's a reason that he's the last one to go in the lineup for the Hawkeyes.
Absolutely, he's going to be the most consistent. He's got one of the highest start values for Iowa on this event.
Earlier we saw Mitchell Landau came up with a 14.0, so back-to-back hits for the Hawkeyes.
Vault right to a Ginger. Beautiful start. That's why his start value is so high. Combining those difficult skills, showing the handstand positions. Look at that, right through handstand, beautiful. Stalter right to a full turn over the top. Beautifully done. Another nice giant full turn hop. And that same skill, but adds an extra half turn. If he can land this dismount, it's going to score well. Double twisting, double layout. Oh, and short. Wow, was that a beautiful set. And I really thought he had that landing.
You can see him building up the momentum, the team trying to get behind him.
Look at that cool handwork, full turn over the top. It really is amazing. Watch this. 2 flips, stretch position, 2 twists. I thought he had it. Oh, he just ran out of gas.
The 6th and final rotation of the meet from Minneapolis coming up on BTN. Iowa goes to the vault, Minnesota to the high bar next. Coming up in April from Iowa City, the Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships live on BTN, the culmination of Big Ten Gymnastics. We'll take a look at the results from the 5th rotation, the parallel bars for the Gophers. Russell Dabritz, again, no surprise, Mr. Consistent for Minnesota.
Really a great score there and a great event for Minnesota, one of their best events and ranked in the top 5 as a team.
High bar for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Brody Szymanski wins the event again with a 14.3, but we saw numerous breaks for Iowa on this event.
A lot of breaks, they have a lot of work to do, and they got to get those start values up higher.
We'll look at the team standings with 1 rotation left to go. Minnesota well in front of the Hawkeyes. Brockport with a 236.1. The final rotation from the Sports Pavilion in Minneapolis. Angelo Bronzino starting off the final rotation for the Hawkeyes in the vault.
Handspring, layout position, full twist. Big trouble on the landing. And you can see the disappointment on his face, kind of like, I can't believe it. I hit that all the time. What happened?
Trying to hold on with those knees, but you saw it just crumble forward.
Handspring, layout position, full twist. Again, the difficulty is it's a blind landing. Those feet came through. He went over so quickly, no stopping it.
Hawkeyes start off the vault with Bronzino, and now over to the high bar, Ross Cameratta. He started off the parallel bar so well with that 14.6. We'll see what he can do on the high bar.
Wow, this is a very unique way to start on this apparatus. I don't think I've ever seen this. He starts in the L grip and pumps it right over the top. It's called an eagle. There's that L grip endo. We saw the guys in Iowa do that. Great difficulty. It's that heck vault right to a Ginger. Nice combination. Gets 1/10 bonus. Nice full pirouette. There's that endo again. Nice Stalter, some small execution errors, bending of the legs. Full twisting double layout. Stuck landing. Keep it rolling, Gophers. Keep the momentum going.
Stuck landing, and head coach Mike Burns thinks there could be a chance, an outside chance to get to that 350 score if they can put together an incredible rotation on the high bar, starting it off the way they wanted to.
Beautiful execution throughout, nails the landing, and of course the fans are into it.
Ross Cameratta, the captain, showing the rest of his team how it's done. Devin Clark now with the chance for the Hawkeyes on the vault. He led the Hawkeyes with a 14.3 on this apparatus against Oklahoma last week.
Very nice. Not the highest start value, but very clean. It's going to score well. It's called a Kazamatsu. And that vault includes a full twist in it, and he adds an extra half turn. So it's a round off up onto the table. There's the full twist. There's the extra half twist. Nice landing. One of the cleanest landings we've seen tonight.
We'll mention it again. No Matt McGrath on the vault for the Hawkeyes as he's still dealing with that knee problem. Had it scoped a few weeks ago. He was an All-American on vault last season for Iowa.
Yeah, I remember watching him last year on that event. One of the most explosive vaulters that I've seen in a long time. Too bad we can't see him tonight.
Over to the high bar and the Gophers. Spencer Smith up now. His only event on the evening, the freshman out of Olympia, Washington. And Ross Cameratta came up with a 13.5 earlier on this event. Spencer Smith, 39th nationally on the high bar. That's a good number for a freshman.
Absolutely, and actually we've talked about some of the freshmen here that made this team, and you know, it bodes well for the future of both squads. Nice endo, full pirouette to the L grip, right to invert. Beautiful combination of skills, and again, that nice long body, looks great on the high bar. There's that handstand we're looking for, there's that jam, another invert. Endo, pirouette. Looks great so far. Let's see if we can get another stuck landing from the Gophers. Full twisting double layout. Ooh, small hop. You can tell though, what I like to see, they look confident enough that we're gonna hit this set. We're really only worried about the landing. I mean, they look that confident so far. Nice release, beautiful. Great shot of the hands. And again, he's up so high. Again, you get the feeling like he knows he's gonna make this. It's just a matter of, can I stick or am I gonna take that small step?
Come on, Brock.
Back over to the vault, and Anton Grushayev, his 5th and final event of the evening. Anton Grushayev, his 5th and final event of the evening, the vault.
Wow. It didn't look like he was running fast enough to do a high-level vault like that. That was a Kazamatsu with a full twist. We saw his teammate, Devin, do the same vault with a half twist. He adds a full twist. Here it is. Looks like he's jogging into it, and then zoop, he zings 2 twists in there. Great vault. Little hop on the landing, but it's going to score well.
You saw that landing, hopped out, but he was in when he landed at first, so no deduction on that landing except for the hop.
Right, and again, that extra half twist he added is worth 4/10 more on that start value, so it's a big deal.
Up next on the high bar, Ellis Mannon, the freshman from Indianapolis, has a season high of 14.5 on this event, but we mentioned before he's been struggling as of late, has not been able to cross over 14 in the past 2 weeks.
Well, he's got the start value, so if he can put it together, he should easily score in the 14s.
Spencer Smith came up with a 13.7 the last time for the Gophers.
Nice to Tkachev. Stalter. Stoops in. Beautiful jam through that handstand position. Inverted giants. So far, Mike, looks good. Full pirouette. Comes out right to an endo. Here we go. Front flipping dismount with a full twist. Oh, and I think that's where the problems have been. It's a very unique dismount. You've been seeing the back flipping dismounts. That's a forward twisting dismount with a 1.5 twist. And again, his just heels don't come up high enough on release. And it's one of those things you mentioned earlier. Rob, as a gymnast, do you know it? Yes, when you come off the bar, you go, man, I'm off too early, it's not gonna go well.
Very challenging dismount. And now Brody Szymanski, the all-around competitor, his chance here on the vault.
Same vault, beautiful. Again, great landing, body nice and tall, body upright when he landed. That's gonna score very well. Half onto the table, 2 twists. Beautiful.
You saw the 14.6 for Grishayev a moment ago. Szymanski, another good score coming up for the Hawkeyes. So 3 consecutive hits on the vault.
Oh, what's up?
Steve Jaciuk, the freshman, we saw him on the parallel bars with a very good routine. And a chance here on the high bar. He's 13th nationally on the high bar coming into this one. So Jaciuk is another performer and gymnast that Minnesota counts on to hit in this routine.
I've really been impressed with Steve so far tonight. A lot of difficulty in his sets.
Saw that 14.6 on the parallel bars.
Wow, beautiful Tkachev. You saw the great extension when he caught, able to swing right out of it. Here comes another one, and right to cross him. That's where his teammate DJ Rep had trouble. That's the skill he fell on. Beautifully done by Steve. Jam inverts. Endo full pirouette, wow. Finishes right near that handstand position. Looks great so far. The pirouette again. All right, Steve can stick this landing. It's gonna be a big score. Full twisting double layout, nice. I'm telling you, this kid looks really good for Minnesota.
A couple of really difficult routines. He's been able to control it.
That was that Tkachev where he caught cross arm and then had to swing right out of it. Beautifully done.
Another look at the dismount.
Right here, double layout, full twist. Looking for the ground, takes that small hop.
Career high of a 14.6 coming in. We'll see if he improved on it when we get the score. Brandon Field now over on the vault for the Hawkeyes. His 3rd event of the evening.
Very nice. Good way for Iowa to finish. They had some nice vaults. Here it again, round off onto the table, 2 twists, beautiful form. Small step on the landing.
The night is complete for the Iowa Hawkeyes as they finish off the vault with Brandon Field. Always want to close out with a good routine, and they're able to get it from Field there. Wrapping up the evening for the Golden Gophers, Russell Dabritz on the high bar, following Steve Jaciuk, who came up with a 13.7. Our final look at an event here, Rob, before the Big Ten Championships coming up in April on Iowa. This is the last one on the Big Ten Network until the live championships from Iowa City. Russell Dabritz closing things out for the Gophers.
Right there, beautiful release move called a Ginger. Russell's really got beautiful lines, great form. Showing off those inverted giants. There's that L grip endo again. Beautifully done. Full pirouette. Finishing everything at or near handstand. Endo pirouette. Here we go. Can he stick it? Full twisting double layout. Oh. Little hop. Again, I think that was the biggest deduction of his routine right there. Great way to finish for the Gophers.
A little hop for Russell Dabritz. He won this event last week. Will he win it again? We'll see this dismount, the release once more.
Again, that's called a Ginger. Here's that dismount. Has the height, has the rotation. He's looking, sees the landing right there. And they're pumped. Overall, decent meet for Minnesota.
Team happy with the finish for Russell Dabritz as the meet draws to a close. Welcome back to Minneapolis as we wrap things up from the Sports Pavilion. A look at the final rotation. The Hawkeyes on the vault. Some big numbers, but what you would expect on this apparatus, Rob. Some nice performances, though, to finish off the night.
That's right, Mike. Iowa really needed this to finish on. They had a lot of breaks. Nice scores, great way for them to finish.
The Gophers had a rough time on the high bar, but Russell Dabritz with that 14.1 led the way. A couple of falls on those releases. Minnesota not getting exactly what they wanted to finish off the meet.
Right, Minnesota had a good competition and it could have been even better. A couple big breaks on high bar hurt them.
Take a look at the all-arounders. Brody Szymanski wins the all-around competition. It wasn't a great night overall, Rob, for the all-arounders. However, still some nice performances within the rotations by each of them.
And that vault right there is one of the reasons why he won. That was a spectacular vault. Big scoring event for him.
DJ Rep, the other all-arounder for Minnesota, on the still rings, had a solid performance. Rep, though, was hoping for a little bit better overall, coming back after having a week off.
Absolutely, overall pretty good. Had that big break on high bar that hurt him tremendously.
That's going to do it from Minneapolis, where Minnesota tops Iowa and Brockport. Don't forget, we'll have the Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships live from Iowa City on April 6th and 7th. For Rob Brown and our entire Big Ten Network crew, I am Mike Wolf. So long from Minneapolis.